The smirk. What's up, coach? Dude, we are live. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Just came from the gym. I was at that new gym, Kingdom.
Yeah, again, huh?
Yeah, no, I love it, dude. I can't wait for them like to actually open to the public. But
Hmm.
like, it's so cool training in a gym and it's just you.
Yeah. It just you?
It was just me, and the best thing about it, there was no music either. So it was just me,
Oh,
no music. I didn't even bring my headphones in today, so
dude,
it
that's
was just
dope.
you against you, and like
Yeah.
you're the only person in the gym. Your voice almost echoes. So like it was actually kind of motivating because you could like actually like hear yourself like breathe. So you're like, oh, like another
Yo.
one. It was rhythmic.
Yeah, huh? Sounds like DJ Khaled is there with you in your head.
Exactly.
Another one. um, are you gonna sign up for that?
Yeah, totally. I already did the pre-order thing. I love it. You know what it is, dude? It's a minimalist gym, but it's everything you really need because, for example, their machines for chest are only two, three. They have
What?
three machines for chest, but they also have like the Intech rotating dumbbells up to 200 pounds.
Okay, so they have more than two. Yeah, right. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
What? So they got to fly. They got to incline plate loader
yeah.
press, right?
So they have the prime incline press with the three pins. They have
Right.
the flat prime three pin press.
And then they got to
They have the
like that.
prime fly,
Uh-huh.
but they also have that really unique prime cable machine where you can bring a bench in and do cable pressing and stuff like that if you wanted to as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, but you don't see that's the thing is you don't need more than that. You don't need, dude. You don't need a decline machine. I don't care. I don't give a fuck who you are. You don't need a decline machine.
No, I don't think. I think most people have gotten away from decline over the past several years too. Just doing a flat movement, you recruit just as much, less shoulder injury too.
Yeah, there's, there's. I honestly don't think there's a purpose to decline. You have a pectoralis major. You have a pectoralis minor. That's it,
Mhm.
right? Like, I mean, what's I don't understand. I mean, I guess with a decline, it's easier to get scapular retraction, maybe.
Yeah, no, it just obviously based on like obvious like structure too, because
Right.
like John Jewett talks about like the angle of the humerus,
Right.
and the shape of of the rib cage as some of
Right.
the determining factors of how much leverage you want. So sorry.
Got it.
You want it to extend more, extend back based on the actual shape of your rib cage. So
Right.
someone that actually has a bigger rib cage would actually possibly want to have a slight decline to
Right.
help compress. For them, it's actually more neutral than
Right.
anything else because the size of the rib cage.
I see. I see. I see. Interesting.
So I,
Interesting.
I think that's probably a bigger factor if someone should do something like that. And then again, you won't need a decline as severe as most things decline. We're talking about like a 15% degree decline.
Right, right. Okay, got it. And I'm sure at Kingdom they have benches like the adjustable benches that could go
Yeah,
decline.
they had the prime one to go up or down. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so that's perfect. That's all you need. All right, amazing, amazing. Yeah, I mean, dude, some of this technology is pretty great. The thing that I will say though is like, most people don't really have an understanding of physiology and anatomy, uh,
Mhm.
for them to ever actually have the need to get that intricate.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But you can typically feel it. You don't even have to know it, but you can typically feel when something feels good.
If you're self-aware,
Yeah, if you're self aware, that's also true. Because
right,
people will confuse just feeling fatigued with something working, right?
right,
But like typically, if you have a obviously good motor control, you should feel the actual recruitment, and things should
right.
feel natural when things contract.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what are some of Mark Vinch's favorite movements as of the past year or so? Because I know you've been a big you're a deadlift junkie, right? Um,
The funny thing is, ever since I tore my hamstring, I have like PTSD now when
yeah,
it comes to that. Like I think I actually have PTSD when it comes to it, because like anything over 4.5 plates now, it's all mental. I know it's mental because the as quickly as 405 moves, 455 shouldn't move that slow.
right, right, right.
So that's one of the big things that I would definitely say is a big factor when when it comes to deadlifting for me is just that. But the big movements I've been still progressively overloading with. One of them is still going to always be the generic hack squat,
Hmm.
because I always think the risk to award for that movement
Right,
is amazing because it's a very low risk movement. Because reality at the end of the day, if you fail, you just go to the bottom and you just sit there, right? Worst case scenario.
Do you have a reason? So I'm sorry, I'm going backtrack.
Yeah.
I'm diagnosing, but do you have a reason for wanting to deadlift heavy?
Um, I think one of the big things of it is just that my biomechanics when it came to deadlifting, were very advantageous for me.
Hmm.
So at lower weight is not challenging because I have very short shins and
Right,
very long arms.
right,
So for me, my range of motion for deadlift is very minimal already.
right.
Um, so for me, I feel like I have to overload that movement with a lot of weight to actually get anything out of that movement.
I know. Well, so okay. So, and the reason I'm asking is because I don't want to like offer a suggestion unless like you want it. But in my opinion, I think you should want it because like I remember when I first met you, a powerhouse locker room. I noticed like yo, your back just has a level of density and thickness that's just like I think you got it from deadlifting. I really think you got it from deadlifting. And like I look at all like what was that guy's name? Johnny Jackson. Or Johnny
Mhm.
Jackson, that's a
Yeah.
strong motherfucker, right? Dude, he had the same kind of thing as you. Like it's this like fucking thick ass back, but it's also like dense as shit. Like if you put your finger on it, you're like, dude, like what's
Yeah.
all that in there, right? Um, why don't you try doing new fit on your hamstring? Okay,
So I was doing that for a long time. I had to start going back and seeing Mike again.
yeah,
But I was going to go see him after during my hamstring tear. I was going
right,
to him like every other week.
right.
But after we moved, it was just that from my house now it's like 2 hours to,
Yo, yeah, it doesn't
so
know
it's just
ideal.
hard to fit because my schedule is crazy busy as it is.
As I know, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and then also now trying to find a time that correlates with both of us that will allow me to be like, okay, Mark, carve 5 hours out of your day almost
yeah.
to go do a training session.
No, that's definitely that's a tough one for sure, for sure.
But
Yeah,
there is a couple people. But there's someone by me who does new fit. I should probably connect with them. But yeah, there is definitely a big mental block
right.
when it comes to that. And I think some of it's just like I think obviously a part of it is the fear. Um, but I also feel like the connection is not the same that I had before pre-injury.
Right, right. Well, that's the thing, right? It's the nervous system, it's the mesocortical limbic system too. Like the thing is like fear is not just emotion based. Like fear is also ration based. Like fear is just like a story in your head, right?
Mhm.
But it's like the story starts, like the information starts from the emotion. So like what probably happens is you go to do it, it feels similarly heavy to the old experience, and then all of a sudden you get flooded with thoughts even if you're trying not to. So like you
Yeah.
may not feel that sense of fear, but it's just like it's just a
Oh no,
block
I
there.
feel it. No, for a fact, I feel it.
Yeah,
I would not deny that.
yeah,
It's the
yeah,
moment I go to that movement, I feel it. That's why I say it's like PTSD because like I was like, okay, I'm doing this movement. This feels good. This feels good. So I gotta get to that weight. It's the fear in the back of my mind. It's like, what if? And so the moment I feel anything back there,
right.
and I should, it's 455 pounds.
It's
Like
nothing crazy for you. Yeah,
yeah, well, like I should feel tension in my hamstrings, right?
right,
It should.
right.
But the moment I start feeling it like feel tight, which again, it should be, you're pushing yourself.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I should let go because it's going to tear.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in reality, that's when you obviously keep pulling through.
Mm, mm, mm.
So I associate now that tension feeling in my hamstring with the same feeling I felt before it snapped.
Right. Well, you know what it's similar to? I know this is kind of hilarious, but it's like, but it's true. It's like performance anxiety,
Mhm.
right? It's like like right, and like, what is the solution to that? And you just like pop Cialis and just you just you just win, right? Eventually. So I guess it's just a matter of just pushing through. I suppose, right?
That's how I'm bringing it down to just as exposure, only exposure therapy, right?
Exposure therapy. Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
have to keep doing it and keep pushing that barrier, and at one point, eventually click.
Yeah. I don't know if click's the best word because that sounds kind of scary, but
Yeah,
we don't want it to click again. Clicking is not good. No clicking, no snapping, no tearing, no ripping.
no, none of
No,
that.
no. Completion of movement. Yeah, for sure. For sure. The thing about exposure therapy is it works. It definitely works, man. You know, that's the thing. Like I tell people like with social anxiety, right? At the end of the day, like just go in situations, be social. You're gonna be anxious one time, you're gonna be anxious two times, you're gonna be anxious three times, but over time it's just gonna get less, 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 and less. There is just a kind of a component of force and just
Yeah,
overriding the monkey mind, right? Uh Oftentimes that's inefficient though. It just because it takes so many times for you to do it to eventually get it right. But No, so it's interesting. We talk about exposure therapy. Do you know who Andrew Huberman is?
Yeah, tenure asshole guy.
Tenure? No, that's Dave Asprey. That's Dave
Oh,
Asprey. Yeah, fuck that guy.
oh shit,
No,
the ass of the name.
no. I love the dad jokes. No, so Andrew Huberman actually, he's very interesting. He's a professor of neurobiology and ophthalmology, but he's like a pretty alpha dude. He's been on podcasts with a lot of our favorite fitness people, lifting people, whatever. But he's a neuroscience is his thing. He studied David Goggins, right?
Okay.
And basically, what he said about David Goggins was this is somebody who really loved I should say really structured his life to constantly be going through something called limbic friction. Okay. The limbic system, the emotional system, right? And then friction is rubbing, right? So it's adding a counterforce, right? So adding a counterforce to an emotional state, right? So if you're in a positive emotional state, adding a negative emotional state to create that friction, right? Will then create this energetic state where you're able to deal with higher and higher amounts of friction, right? It's basically putting yourself through shit to get through shit, right? But here's the thing that was different about David Goggins than most people, right? Is that most people, when they're subjected to too much limbic friction in a certain period of time, they're going to break, right? But with David Goggins, because of how much limbic friction that he's subjected to himself in the past, now it's like any amount that he subjects himself to, right? He just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, right? That's the way his life is structured, right? So it's just interesting, right? Because the whole thing is you never want to get yourself to a point where you're going to break, right?
Mhm.
Well, no, you do, but you don't want to get to a point you don't want to get to a point where you're going to break down, right? This is what I
Yeah.
find. So like what I'm finding is people are subjecting themselves to small amounts of limbic friction constantly instead of large amounts of limbic friction in an acute period of time. And the issue with that is that you never actually create any adaptations when it's a small amount constantly, but never a large amount in a consolidated period of time.
Mhm.
Whereas with David Goggins, it's a large amount in a large volume.
Yeah.
So that's what's just crazy about him. And I was like, I wonder, how do you actually get there?
Well, it's doing the thing you don't want to do every day. So, what are the things you don't want to do, and fucking pick those things.
Yeah, for sure, right? But for him, like it was like that, like his first that 100-mile race, that first
Yeah.
one where the freaking kidneys were bleeding and he was pushing himself through that. And he said that after that point, there was a certain wall that he broke, and from that point on forever, he was good. So I almost think we all need to just go run an ultra marathon
Yeah. And complete it.
and complete it. But I mean, I've also noticed a change in you, right? Like after that prep, since then there was just a level of adaptability that you've had. That's the word.
Well, dude, it was probably the most stressful point in my life ever because I was getting ready I was planning a wedding. I was house shopping. I was in the middle of a contest prep with a torn hamstring. And like I felt like I had no time in my day because I was working open to close Monday through Friday in the store.
Aries, and you had like fucking 85 clients in Metabolic Roadmap.
Yeah.
It was incredible. It was incredible. It was incredible. Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. It was kind of that for me last year. It was kind of like that for me last year. I would say those two points of time in my life too. Like one is getting clean, and then the other was last year, man. Like I don't I have never I hear all these stories about like entrepreneurs like scared to make payroll, and I did not know what that felt like until last year. And that was hellish, man.
Well, I could imagine because like you felt like you have a whole entire team that you're responsible for.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it's just like all the thoughts just start to cascade. Like what happens? Then I got to tell everyone I failed. Then freaking I got to fire. Oh god. Oh my fucking god, dude. Oh my god. But it's so funny because I look back at it last year and I'm just like, oh, I didn't even know the options I had. So whenever I get stressed now, I ask myself like, what would the Neil 6 months from now make fun of me for today?
That's a nice way to look at it.
What would the Neil 6 months from now make fun of me for panicking about today? I ask myself that question all the time.
I like it.
And then the other question I ask myself is, okay, what would 39-year-old Neil, right, 10 years from now, what would 39-year-old Neil be saying to my current Neil? And it would be like, bro, no matter what you're dealing with today, I wish I was in your shoes because it's always going to be okay. Because I always look at my life. I'm like, when has it not been okay? It always ends up being okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have a conversation with Cassie all the time because she's a panicker, she's a warrior. Um, she lives in the future, and the future's not here yet,
Typical
right?
woman right here.
So we're talking about like what are we doing with the house, with buying the new one, and everything else, and selling the old one. And I'm like, hey, there's no reason to stress about these things yet. We have to go piece by piece.
Right.
So let's see what the market is when it's actually time for us to sell the house in October,
Yep.
and make every decision based off of that. Because there's no reason to plan out all these hypothetical scenarios if nothing is concrete yet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, dude. The mind is a little fucker, man. Like the mind will go, and then if you let it go, it'll speed up, and it'll speed up even more and more and more and more and more. And dude, that's the thing. So Mel Robbins, she wrote the book 5 Second Rule. She's actually pretty awesome. She talked about it. It's like, all right, dude, the first 90 seconds is your choice. After that, you're kind of fucked, right? So when your thoughts start to go, like you have 90 seconds to stop them, right? If you stop them in that 90-second period, then 90-second period, you're good. If you don't, it's pretty damn hard. So
yeah, no, I get that because like the times I've been anxious before are strictly because I let my thoughts run.
You let them go. You let them go. But if you could catch it and just be like, hold up, buddy, stop. It's okay. It's just your mind. You're here. Everything's good right here. You're fine. That's literally why I'm such a big proponent of meditation. For that exact reason here. Because that meditation is what helps me be in a state where I could catch my thought. As soon as the thought starts to go, like, whoa, buddy, that thought is not serving me. Like, so.
Yeah.
So, sweet deal. Mark, Evolve Daily. We're going to do this literally daily.
I'm down.
Just shoot the shit. This is our podcast.
This is a podcast. We should get a new intro.
Yeah, we should, shouldn't we, huh?
Yeah.
Hey guys, if you're watching this, buy Quantum Gold. It's fucking awesome. Don't waste your money on any other bullshit nootropic. Buy Quantum Gold. And if you don't want caffeine, get Quantum non-stim. Don't waste your money on any other bullshit non-caffeinated nootropic. Seriously. I'm biased as hell, of course, but I honestly love the formulation because we made it. So.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, what other nootropics are there that are like good nootropic blends that are good? I don't even know.
The only ones that I like that aren't ours are the ones designed specifically pre-workout because they're powder based. But they again very short acting.
Yeah, but those are pre-workouts.
They're more so pre-workouts that just have nootropics.
Right.
Yeah, but from a straight nootropic perspective, there isn't one that I've ever enjoyed.
Right, like not blends. Like you can make your own custom. I'm just trying to think. Like Optimind sucks on it. Alpha Brain sucks. Neurohackers sucks. HVMN sucks. True Brain is not bad. True Brain is okay. Gorilla Mind Rush, but that's just cracking a bottle, right? Socrates, that's just cracking a bottle. It has hegenemine, whatever. It has hordenine. It has tyramine. It has freaking 2-amino-isoheptane. It's not a fucking nootropic. It's cracking up. Yeah. So, word. Smirky V. I love you, man. Let's crush today.
You too, big dog. Later.